What's up, guys? It's your boy Karam McLeish from Droid Island, and we're back with yet another video. So today I got another phone that I've been checking out the past couple weeks, and that is the Huawei Honor 6X, aka the Huawei Honor Mate 9, depending on the market that you are in. So you know the drill, stick around. Alright, so this is the front-facing camera for the Huawei Honor 6X, aka the Huawei Mate 9 Lite. Depending on what market you're in, the names will be different. Alright, so it's not too bad. It's hot, I'm sweaty. I don't know if you guys can see all that detail, but it's not too bad. The front-facing camera does record at 720p, so again, it's going to be serviceable for your day-to-day usage. You know, get those nice crisp Skype calls or Hangout calls, so it'll be good for that. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Alright, so you guys know me. I like to get the specs out of the way from rip. Alright, so Huawei Honor 6X, aka the Mate 9 Lite. What do we got? We got a 5.5-inch display, 1080p resolution. It's got two camera sensors. So it's got a 12 megapixel primary sensor and a 2 megapixel sensor. It's got the Kirin 655 processor, so a nice solid mid-range CPU with either 3 gigs or 4 gigs of RAM depending on the version that you pick up. It's It's got a 3340 milliamp hour battery, so good size, especially in a mid-range device. You can also pick this version up with a 32 gig onboard storage or 64 gig storage. So the options are yours. It's dual SIM, or you could use one SIM card and expand the memory up to 256 gigs of storage. So, now that we got that out of the way, what do we got? Now, the Huawei Honor 6X is, as I said before, it is a mid-range device, okay? So, it's a device that you could purchase in Trinidad, and I've been seeing them go anywhere between 2,300 to 2,500 is really the going rate for the base model of the 6X, aka the Mate 9 Lite. I'm gonna keep referring to it as the 6X from here on, just because it is the more popular name on the market, even though in our market it is the Mate 9 Lite. But most people are going to be going up online, they're going to be searching it, and there might be a little bit of confusion when they are looking for the device online. Alright, so what do I like about this phone? Well, I feel like it's a bit redundant at this point in time. A lot of the Huawei devices that do hit my desk, build quality is usually the first thing that stands out. When you pick up their devices, it just feels good, they look good, they're well built devices. Now this one does have, it's not a unibody device, it does come in separate pieces, but the back plate is aluminum and the top piece and the bottom piece are plastic, and that's going to help it with your antenna receptions. Okay, there is no IR blaster on this device, so there is a noise cancellation speaker right at the top. But guess what, guys? They have not done away with the 3.5mm headphone jack. So you guys that cry every time you guys see a new phone that comes out with no headphone jack, you don't got to worry about it with this device. It does have it. At the bottom, you're going to see it does have a micro USB. So if you are coming from a device that had a micro USB port at the bottom, then you're in luck, because now you don't gotta go hunting for USB Type-C cables. All right, so you can repurpose those old cables. There are two speaker grills at the bottom. Now it looks nice, it looks sexy, but unfortunately only one is a speaker. There is no stereo speakers on this device, so the top is just a regular earpiece. On the Mate 9, the big brother to this, the stereo speaker setup is a tweeter in the earpiece, and then the bottom firing handles all the mids and the lows. But this one is just one bottom firing speaker, and it's okay, but we'll get into that a little bit later. All right, the second is just for design, and I guess just to, keep it cool. So the buttons are all on the right hand side. Now again, this is a 5.5 inch device, so if you do have small hands, reaching the top of the device to get those buttons may be a bit hard. Even me, I kind of have to adjust my hands just a tad bit, but I would have preferred if it was just a little bit lower, especially on devices 5.5 inches and above. These guys got to think about putting some of these buttons just a tad bit lower. That way it makes it easier without having to readjust, okay? And then given the fact that this is an aluminum bodied phone, it's slippery and it's curved as well, so it can easily slide out of your hands if you're not careful, or if you don't have a case or some ghost armor on the device. So keep that in mind if you are looking at this device as an option for you. And last but not least, we have the fingerprint sensor at the back. Okay, so right below the cameras is the fingerprint sensor. Now, the one thing I like about the fingerprint sensor on this device is it has multiple purposes. It does a few things. So besides unlocking the device, by the way, it is extremely fast and accurate. Right? So slight touch, there we go. Slight touch again, there we go. The speeds of these fingerprint sensors, again, they're getting better and better, and obviously every new phone that comes out, it's just going to keep getting you're just going to keep getting faster. I think the most important thing with these fingerprint sensors now is that they are accurate. I want to be able to at least touch the fingerprints, the fingerprint sensor, and it unlock my device. You know, sometimes some of them might have a little animation which might delay, you know, a second or whatnot. Not a big deal, not a deal breaker, but as long as when I touch that device it opens up, I'm good with that. You can actually use the fingerprint sensor. You could set it up, you could set up the fingerprint sensor gestures. So you could do things like take pictures, you could swipe through the gallery, you can pull down the notification shade, you can answer phone calls. So if I were to, let me see if I can actually show this to you. So I'm not doing anything, but there goes the notification shade, and there it goes back up. If I'm in the camera app, let me see if I can load that up. Alright, so if I'm in the camera app, touch, there you go. There you go. So it is nice. Those gestures just do help, and I like the fact that more companies are trying to get more use out of the fingerprint sensor. And again, on a device that costs less than 2,500 TT, I mean, this little things like this just add value to the device. The display. Let's get into that display. The display is a 5.5 inch 1080p resolution display. It's a LCD display, so viewing angles are good, outdoor visibility is good, brightness is good. So if you are somebody that's going to be working outside or outside a lot, this device is going to be easily viewable in those kind of conditions. These are, especially because we're in the Caribbean and we do have a lot of sunny bright days, knowing the differences between your AMOLED and your IPS displays and what's going to be better for outside visibility is always going to be good, because again, if you're one of those guys that are outside all the time, the last thing you want to be doing is having to crank your brightness all the way up to max and drain your battery if you're not going to be close to either a outlet to charge back your phone, or if you don't have a battery pack. Just having a device that's going to be very visible in outside without having to crank it to maximum brightness is going to help you guys, and it's going to go a long way in the long run. Next up is performance. So as you guys know, Huawei is one of the few companies that produces their own silicone. They produce their own chips. So in this bad boy, we got the Kirin 655 processor with 3 gigs of RAM. This is a 3 gig version. Now the Kirin 55 processor is again another top mid-range processor. Huawei has really found their stride when it comes to making their own chipsets, and it's also what allows them to keep their prices on their devices down and also be able to use some of these processors in various devices. So like in the case of like the Kirin 650, that device powers a wide range of their higher end flagship devices, and it allows you to get things like the Honor 9, the P10, the P10 Plus. You're going to get great performance, but in this time with those flagship devices, the prices can be flexible, and it's one of the things that Huawei does very well. When it comes to their processors, they're very good, performance is good, and it gives you versatility. So they can put these in different devices and give you different looks, different feels, and different packages at different price points. So you do have a good set of options, and you know that you're getting a good quality product. You're getting good build quality, plus you're also getting the performance to back that up. So keep that in mind when you're looking at Huawei devices. Now, if you are a gamer, again, I'm not too much of a gamer, but for the sake of testing out the phone, I threw on Asphalt 8, and it handled it very well. Like, I didn't have no drop frames. Game time was loaded pretty quickly. Obviously, it's not going to compete with Kirin 960 or Snapdragon 835 in terms of speed, but again, this is a mid-ranger, so if you have to wait a couple extra seconds for your game to load up, again, price point, no complaints there. No complaints there. My Clash of Clans, it worked perfectly fine. Asphalt 8, it worked perfectly fine. So if you are a gamer on a budget, again, with a big screen and a good sized battery, this is definitely something for you to look at. So, battery life on the device. The 6X packs a 3340 milliamp hour battery. The Kirin 655 processor is very efficient and handles the battery like a champ. Now Huawei does say that you can get up to 2 days usage out of this on a single charge, and to me that's going to vary depending on your usage. I'm a heavy user. I watch a lot of videos. I do a little bit of gaming. I do a lot of emailing, a lot of social media, a lot of voice calls as well, and I've been able to get a day and a half out of the device, so that is extremely good. And that's just off a single charge. So it's just nice knowing that if I have a long day, this isn't a phone where I know I'm going to run out of battery and I have to walk at the charger and look for an outlet so I can go run and jack it in. It's going to last a day, okay? I've got a day and a half before I had to look for a charger. I still get in the habit of charging every night because that's just, I don't know, muscle memory, but it's just you know, something that you do. This is a device where you don't need to do that. So if you are somebody that is on the road for extended periods of time, if you're a driver, again, if you work construction, if you do anything where you're not where a wall charger is not going to be easily accessible, then this is a phone that is definitely going to be able to last a day. So these are for my my power hungry people that, you know, are always on the phone, that are not going to be able to charge the phone whenever they can. This phone is going to last for you, okay? Now, the most compelling thing about the Huawei 6X is the dual camera setup. Now, Huawei has said at the time that this phone came out, this was the only phone at the price point. It came out at roughly 250 US. At the time, this was the only phone that had a dual camera setup. Now, we also have like the Xiaomi Mi 5X that has just come out with the dual camera setup at that price point, but this was the first device that came out at that price point with dual camera setup. And it does handle, Huawei does use their dual camera setups differently than some of the other manufacturers. So one typically handles all of your RGB color palettes, and the other usually handles like your monochrome, the black and whites where they stitch it together. So this sensor actually is a 2 megapixel sensor, and it strictly handles the depth of field. So you can actually change the aperture on the device from f16 all the way down to f9.95. So if you have an object, okay, if you have an object in front of you, you're able to adjust the aperture, and you can actually blur out the whole background and get just the object in front of you and put that in focus. And I must say that it does it very well. It's very surprising on a device at this price point where that works very well. And the camera quality and the pictures that you are able to produce from this device are very good. Again, I like to point out the fact that at this price point, okay, you can't compare it to your S8s. I mean, you can, you know, but obviously your S8s, your G6s, these things are going to handle quality for your pictures. They're going to do it better. But at this price point, for a device that's less than 2500 TT, the picture quality is very good. It's one of the better ones out there. So one of the main things, you know, in Trinidad we have a very big party life. People like to enjoy nights on the town. If you're somebody that goes out and you're taking a lot of pictures and you're going to be in low light or bad lighting situations, this surprisingly takes some very good low light pictures. Now, if you're in the worst of the worst lighting conditions, then okay, don't expect too much. But on average, like if you're out and it's nighttime, or you're in a restaurant where the lights are very dim, this surprisingly takes very good pictures at this price point. I'll try to see if I can get some examples of low lights and put them in the video, or maybe I might post up a link later on the website so you guys can view it. But I definitely want you guys to see the picture quality for the low lights that come out of this phone. It's surprising. It's definitely something that again, you guys are going to want to be into, so you guys can check it out. So final thoughts on the Honor 6X. Good price point, excellent build quality. Highlight of the phone really is dual camera setup. If you're someone that wants to be able to take good quality pictures and you're on a budget, this is definitely going to be an option for you. If you're somebody that likes big phones, you want a phone that's going to last you all day, you want something that's going to be able to handle all of your graphic intensive games, this is definitely going to be a device for you. So, does this get the Droid Island signature go or no? I give it a go. Definite go. You can cop it from, I've seen it depending on the retailer, from between $2,300 to $25, but again, that's all going to depend on what store you guys go to. But definitely check this device out. I love the fact that, again, there's another great budget device that's on the market that you do not have to spend a ton of money and get a high quality device. So if you do happen to see a 6X, aka the Huawei Mate 9 Lite, if you happen to see it in the wild, check it out. You're definitely not going to be disappointed. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys truly liked it, give me a thumbs up. Please hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and also turn on the notifications button so that every single time we at Droid Island drop a video, you guys are notified so you guys can keep up to date with us. Please share the video as well. Until the next one, I'm out.